Hello and welcome, it's Frances here. I've recently done a live video from my book, Encountering the Dark Goddess, A Journey into the Shadow Realms. And as videos seem to go on forever, I thought I would choose another passage to discuss or to talk about as a follow-up from that. And this passage in particular looks at descent, death, and the Dark Goddess. And I've named it as such because when we descend into the underworld, where a lot of these dark goddesses reside, when we descend into our inner self to explore our shadow, it can be like a death when we realize that aspects of ourself no longer are congruent with us, that we no longer need or they've outserved their purpose. We no longer require them in our lives. So it is important that we treat them as like very similar to a death. And Swiss psychologist Elizabeth Kübler-Ross points out, grief is not solely experienced by those who have lost a loved one. It can be experienced when you have lost a job, the ending of a relationship, having a beloved pet die, dealing with a drug or alcohol addiction, or even dealing with chronic illness. Kübler-Ross asserts that there are 5 stages of experiencing grief. There's denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and finally acceptance. And we all go through these stages, whether we are consciously aware of them or whether we have pushed our grieving into our subconscious. Again, turning our loss into a shadow aspect as well. If we do not allow ourselves to grieve naturally after our descent and release our attachment to what has been lost, then our ability to return to the surface and completely integrate our new life can be difficult. And issues can arise later. And I say that from personal experience. Having gone through a chronic illness, during that time I didn't allow myself to rest. It was almost like I went on autopilot to keep my mind and body active and busy. And it's only been years later that I'm learning now to grieve that which was lost, which was taken from me, which was surrendered. And it's through that grief process now that I can accept the new. Blessings.